Shaq, let's go over to you. Wisconsin's COVID response plan is back in the state Supreme Court this week. What is the latest there?
Well, you're right. We saw that Supreme Court hearing, those oral arguments just yesterday, this in the Wisconsin State Supreme Court. And really what's at stake is the governor's mask mandate. You know, let's go back a little bit. It was back in the spring when the governor implemented a safer at home order. That was struck down by the conservative Supreme Court here in the state of Wisconsin. Then he tried to put on occupancy limits to bars and restaurants. That is being held up in a different court. He then put on a mask mandate, and that is what the Supreme Court was listening for right now. And if you watch the hearings and listen to the oral arguments, they signaled that that mask mandate could be struck down any day now because it's power that's reserved for the legislature in this state. The problem with that is the legislature, which is run by Republicans, has not met since the beginning of this pandemic. So you're really seeing political gridlock have its effect here in Wisconsin. We saw another day of record deaths here in Wisconsin, 92 lives lost over the past 24 hours, another day of cases exceeding 7,000 new cases. Ron just mentioned 4,000 new cases in New Jersey, 7,000 here in Wisconsin. You can imagine the level of concern here on the ground. Hospital systems, doctors, physicians really begging and pleading with people to take this virus seriously. But I'll tell you, I've been here a very long time covering the election before and now the coronavirus. And that's a message that you've been hearing. Those are pleas that you've been hearing from medical experts for at least a month at this point. And you see the numbers just continue to rise in this state. Allison?
Yeah, I mean, Shaq, you've been going through the numbers. We said Wisconsin's positivity rate over 35%. Thanksgiving's next week. What is the state saying about Thanksgiving gatherings? And what can Wisconsin even enforce right now, given some of the legal issues over its COVID restrictions?
They're simply begging people not to have Thanksgiving gatherings. And you mentioned that positivity rate of 35%. Take a look at some of this drone video that our team shot just about 2 hours ago at this point. It's from the testing facility that I'm standing in front of right now. And you see the hundreds and hundreds of cars, people in those cars waiting to get tested. If you were to just assume that there was only one person in each of those cars, that would mean that every third car is carrying someone who is positive with the coronavirus. That is how widespread this outbreak is in the state of Wisconsin. The White House Task Force, their latest report looking into looking into the outbreak here in Wisconsin, they commended Governor Evers for his attempt to get more restrictions on. They're saying more restrictions are needed to lower the hospitalization rate, to lower the amount of new cases and the number of new deaths, but there is just no cooperation in this state. Last point I'll make on that is the governor just today announced a package of legislation that he's sending to the legislature. It's 6 different priorities that he's asking them to pass. We'll see what ends up happening with that, but as of now, you see the outbreak just uncontrollable at this point.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.